Hey, it's Mark Kidwalk, Britten, 7 voices from Dragon Ball Z, including the voice of Corrin the cat who has the Senzu beats. The Ox King Chi-Chi's father, Bridger, fastest in the Dragon Ball Z universe, and the Grand Kai. And you are listening to The Boys podcast, one of the best.
He's gonna dodge that thing, and when he does, I'll get him from behind. With luck, that should confuse him long enough to get this darn thing over with. Hey, what the?
I'm the Bean Daddy this time. Bean Daddy.
Is that so? Well, who put you in charge? They're my beans.
I watered them.
You watered it.
Here, Mr. Corrin, these are yours.
Huh? Oh, well, I guess you do have pretty good manners. I guess you can keep them.
Stop messing with him. You were going to give him the beans anyway.
Will you shut up?
Sorry to walk in on you guys like this. Listen, Pycone, I need you to go straight to hell for me.
Yes, sir.
That's not very nice.
He's the Grand Kai. He can say what he wants. Now, quiet.
Just want to say I'm in a very good mood tonight. It's good hair night for me. See, all the women know what I'm talking about. Right now, though, my hair is at that length where I want to get it a little longer because every time I look in the mirror, I think I look like the Cowardly Lion from The Wizard of Oz.
Put him up, put him up.
And welcome back to another episode of The Voice Podcast. I have a very special guest today. My guest is a voice actor and comedian. You may have heard my guests in projects such as Ox King, Oolong, Corn, Maury, Bircher, Grand Kai, Other World Tournament Announcer, and Malaka in the DBZ franchise. And so welcome the very talented, legendary Mr. Mark, the Chinaman Britten. Welcome, Mark.
Thank you. Can you smell what the wok is cooking? Sounds like hot dog fried rice. You know, I'm glad you mentioned Chinaman. You know, I stopped going by Chinaman in like 2011, and it's not your fault. Everybody else thought it was a racist thing, and I don't know where this racism thing came from because I've been going by Chinaman since 2000, since 99. Then all of a sudden in 2011, everybody got offended over it. And I'm like, man, I've been going by this name for 12 years and nobody said anything. Then everybody started to get their feelings hurt. And it was like, you're being racist by using Chinaman. And you say it correctly. You know, most people would say, hey, you know, you're being pretty racist saying Chinaman. And I said, well, I'm saying Chinaman like a superhero. Nobody ever says, hey, look, up in the sky, it's Superman. Help, Spider-Man. Nobody ever does that.
Or Iron Man.
Iron Man? You're right. Iron Man. It could be. I haven't thought of that one. Thank you. Thank you. But you said it correctly. So I'd like to thank you for being the one that thought about it and pronounced it and everything. Did it correctly. Because, yeah, I am Chinaman. I was planning on maybe going back to that because it seems like people's feelings aren't getting as hurt anymore. You know, I make it cool to be Asian. I wasn't out there like Bobby Lee. Bobby Lee got onto my case for going by Chinaman, but Bobby Lee does all of his characters and he does them all like, oh, I Asian lady who does nail. Oh, I Asian. And I'm like, and then he's getting on my case for going by Chinaman. You know what I mean? So it was like that was weird.
Yeah.
Anyways, that was my rant. That was my China rant.
So welcome, Mark. So how you doing? That's the first one. How you doing, Mark? How's Mark?
Doing amazing, man. My calendar's starting to fill up. You know, I had a comedy special that released in January on Open Bar Comedy's channel on YouTube. So I'm trying to get that out there, trying to get more comedy gigs, doing a lot of Comic-Cons, about 2 to 3 every month.
Okay. That's cool. I wish you could come out here for some like comedy. Like there's a lot of comedy clubs. We're in Illinois, like Zanies or Batavia Comedy Club, like some of those. That'd be cool.
Oh, so you're in Chicago?
Yes.
Okay. So one of the problems with bigger cities doing stand-up in it is they already have so many comics there that they're like, well, we want to pay you this amount because we didn't need you. We don't really need you. We have like 70, 80 headliners here. And, you know, headlining a comedy club, it's only 52 weeks. So you have to be in their top 52 if you want to grab one of them weeks. People don't understand that a lot of the times. They're like, why don't you just come here? How come you're only here once a year? It's like, there's only 52 weeks.
That'd be cool because off Michael Toady, I've also interviewed other comedians like Kevin Nealon, Tommy Chong.
Yes.
I'm a big comedy guy, so that's cool.
Second City is from there as well.
Yes. Second City.
Are you an improv comedy guy or are you a just regular stand-up comedy guy?
I mean, both are. I like both, honestly. Improv and.
Who's some of your favorite comics out there? Let's go current first.
Okay, currently, okay.
Yeah.
I consider a comedian because I also interviewed her, but Nikki Glazer, do you know who she is?
Oh yes, she's very funny.
Yes, I like her.
Yes, she's extremely funny.
Yes, I like her currently, and then I also like. Do you know who Bert Kreischer is?
Bert Kreischer. Yes,
Yes.
in fact, I have a. That's why I had us trying to set up on OBS because I was trying to show you some of the clips on my computer that I can't actually play here. But I mean, I have a clip of Bobby Lee talking about me on Bert Kreischer's cooking podcast, and Bobby Lee was like, "Man, do you know this guy named Chinaman?" And here's how Bobby Lee always delivers it. There's a comedian because all of a sudden he interrupted Bert Kreischer, whatever he's doing. He goes, "There's a comedian that is in Texas. He goes by Chinaman, and you might have heard of Mark Britten." And then Bert Kreischer goes, "Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, Mark Britten. Yeah, yeah. He murders. He kills. Oh my gosh, he killed." And he's yeah, but so he goes by Chinaman. And then I was like, every time I hear it, he mentioned me twice on whose podcast? Norm Macdonald's podcast. And then once on the other. Oops, I got my writing partner is going to be coming in, but he's going to be sitting off to the side. So
You're fine.
yeah, I just thought I'd let you. He's going to enter in this door behind us.
So it's gonna be a random person. I'm kidding. It's a robber. I'm kidding.
Right. There's somebody behind you. I should have told him to wear a zombie mask. He also doubles as a zombie character that he plays. That's pretty dynamic. People love it. Funny enough, he dresses up as a zombie in a red zoot suit, and then they'll see me walking with him in the convention at the Comic-Con, and they'll be like, "Hey, can I have a photo?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And then they hand me the camera, and they want me to take a photo of them and the zombie. I'm like, "Hey, wait a minute. I'm the Dragon Ball Z guy." It's always funny to me when that happens.
No. Since you asked me, so who's some of your favorite comedians? Who do you like all time and current? My favorite all time though is Eddie Murphy. That's my favorite all time.
And who?
Eddie Murphy.
Get out.
Yes.
For real?
Yes, I'm up. Yeah, for real. He's funny.
Well, in '87, I started stand-up comedy, and Eddie Murphy was my influence. Ever since I was 15 years old, I used to sit in front of the HBO, and I used to watch all of these Eddie Murphy Delirious. I used to turn the volume down, and I would, because my parents didn't want me watching it. I was going to a Christian school then. So my parents were like, "Hey, you can't watch Eddie Murphy." So they would go to bed. I would turn the TV down and listen to his show. I had the whole Delirious set memorized. And now, if you look at my style of stand-up comedy, it is basically a template that was taken from Eddie Murphy's comedy, because Eddie Murphy makes fun of singers, right? He does impression. And if you look at my act, Eddie Murphy makes fun of R&B singers. So he makes fun of all the singers that are through his genre that he listened to. Well, I listen to rock music. So, I mean, mine was all rock and roll impressions, all regular celebrity impressions, the type of things that I do. He talks about his family. There's a bit where he does talking about buckwheat. You remember the bit? He talks about buckwheat, and he goes, "Buckwheat?" He goes, "Yeah, here's my cousin Farina's, and then my other cousin, my gay cousin Fruit and Loops." Do you remember that bit?
Yeah, I remember that.
Okay.
I remember that. Yes.
Okay. Well, I have a bit where I say, "Hey, I brought my Chinese family with me. Next to me is my wife and her sister, Biching and Moning." Do you know what I mean? So I do a family bit that's similar to what he does. My writing style just kind of mimics. That's my sense of humor. And that's how I view humor, is that people will tune in on a certain frequency. And Eddie Murphy is a frequency. All of these comedy things that you're laughing at are a frequency for you to tune into their sense of humor.
Yeah. I mean, that's cool. Now, did you ever meet Eddie Murphy? That's cool. That's
No, I have not. In fact, when I was 19, I was going to the University of Texas in Austin, and his second concert was out. Was it Raw? Raw was out. Raw had come out, and he was on tour, and I went and saw him. And I do remember waiting outside to see if I could catch a peek of him after the show. I remember looking and waiting by where his bus was just to get a glimpse. I don't know why. I don't usually get very giddy about celebrities. That was probably the only time when I was younger that happened. In fact, when I see some of these celebrities that I've watched on television at all of these Comic Cons. I'm just like, hey, that's cool. There's so and so, but I don't get oh my gosh, I gotta go meet that person, or I'm like, oh, there's that person that played that other person. I'm just like, that was really cool, and I got to see him. That was it.
That's cool.
But never got a glimpse of Eddie Murphy. He never came out to his.
Dang. Hey, see, that's why I would love to interview. If I ever interview him, Mark, you'll be the first. I'll be like, Mark. You know what I mean? That'd be cool.
Oh, amazing. I mean, I would. That's probably one of the ones that I would freak out about.
That'd be cool. That'd be sick.
I watched every single thing that as a kid, I watched every single thing. And now tried to watch Beverly Hills Cop 4, but it didn't. Did you watch it?
It wasn't the same. I'll be honest, it wasn't the same.
And one of the things that's really weird to me is I always tell people, when people are doing voiceover work, they shouldn't use their regular voice. That's a requirement. You shouldn't be able to be called a voice actor until you're using a voice that's not your own.
Yeah, exactly.
It should be the rule, because Eddie Murphy ended up doing Shrek. He did the donkey.
Oh, donkey, yeah.
Talk fast, and he's like, so anyways, we're gonna do this, and we're gonna do that, and we're gonna do. So he talks really fast like that in the movie. Well, he was doing that in Beverly Hills Cop 4. I'm in there washing dishes. Next thing you know, I hear him trying to explain to somebody else. So anyways, you want to be doing that? Because we could take you downtown if you want to. And I'm like, is donkey? What, am I watching Shrek? When did the movie change? So that's why I'm like, no voice actor should be allowed to use their original voice. He should have had to have done, something. I mean, how many voices does Eddie Murphy do? You see how many impressions? He's a vocal master. So I mean, in the end, it's like, why did you choose to use Eddie Murphy's voice?
That's true. That's true. That's cool. Wow. Now, what made you want to become a voice actor and comedian? You obviously said Eddie Murphy, and who just is your biggest inspiration for voice acting? And you said comedy was Eddie Murphy.
Okay, so I didn't have a voice acting influence, anything that influenced. I was doing stand-up comedy. I've always wanted to be a stand-up comic. I've always wanted to be like Eddie Murphy. My parents always told me there's only one Eddie Murphy. When I was going through my divorce 13 years after being in stand-up, I was living at home with my parents, and then a guy at the comedy club, I was 30 years old. So a guy at the comedy, I know you feel like such a loser whenever you have to move back into your other parents at 30. But a guy at the comedy club said, hey, man, they're doing an audition for a cartoon. And I said, what? And he said, yeah, look at this paper. They have those little observer papers that show you all the things that are happening in the city. And then in the back, they'll have these little classified ads. I mean, that ad was probably that big, probably 2 inches by 4 inches, like that. That was probably like that. So there was an ad that said auditioning for a cartoon. And so the comedian told me about it. And I said, all right, I'll go. I went into the audition, and there was Chris Sabat sitting there and Barry Watson, who was the producer. And they said, I said, I don't even know why I'm here. I said, I know it's for a cartoon, but I said, I don't do cartoon voices. I can't look at something and just know how that character sounds. I can't just look at it and go, oh, he's got bug eyes, he's going to sound like this. And they were like, well, what do you do? I said, well, I normally just do impressions. They said, what kind of impressions you do? I said, I'm working on Samuel L. Jackson right now. And they said, let us hear a little bit. I don't remember asking you a damn thing. And they jumped out of their chairs because I interrupted them right in the middle. I said, oh, you were saying? Well, then allow me to retort. What does Marcellus Wallace look like? And then they were just like, you know what I mean? So, so that one is one I was working on. Another one was The Rock. I was working on Rock's voice. And then every time he would say stuff like, so what do you think about the shirt that I'm wearing? It doesn't matter what you think. And then so those are those jolting ones. I always do that to my wife, and it always jolts her. I'm like, you're welcome. You're awake now.
That's cool. Can you do the eyebrow raise? I can't do it, but can you do it? Oh my God.
Which one it is, and here's the weird part is I don't have as many eyebrows as he does. My son, who went to cosmetology school, my gay son went to cosmetology school. I always say this. I say, he was like, hey, Dad, you're missing a lot of your eyebrows. He said, I should draw them in for you. So I remember one time he drew them in for me on a gig. And I was like, wow, that's really weird. I have like 10 more emotions that I didn't know I was missing because I'm missing this part of the eyebrow. I mean, I had like endearing, you know what I mean? And it doesn't look endearing now because I'm missing that part of the eyebrow.
That's cool. That's cool though. Now, what was your favorite voice acting role you portrayed of all your voices on your DBZ? Like, what's your favorite character that you voice?
My favorite character I did in Dragon Ball Z was Berter from the Ginyu Force. And he was always snarky and like this. In fact, that was the one that they asked me to send. They sent me home. Well, after they heard my impressions, they were like, hey, we did most of the voices already have been episodes have already been done in Canada. So they did 1 through 68. And then they moved it to Texas, which is a right to work state. They were paying full royalties in Canada. So those guys were getting about $6.50 an episode plus royalties after it aired every time. They moved to Texas, they're only paying $50 an hour. They don't have to pay us no royalties, no nothing. That's why when you see a lot of the voice actors, they still don't pay royalties. So I mean, a lot of these voice actors, the only way we make any extra money for what we've done is to go do Comic-Cons. So they and when it came to Berger, they sent me home with a VHS tape of Berger.
VHS with Roback. I'm sorry, that's cool.
They sent me home with a VHS tape. I remember sitting in my kitchen because that's where we had a VCR in the kitchen. So I remember sitting at the dining room table with my mom and watching it and trying to do the voice. But 7 days later, I showed back up to Dragon Ball Z and said, hey, I think I got the voices down. And so I did, the fastest in the Dragon Ball Z universe for them. And then they were like, hey, you got the part. So next after that came, I think, Ox King. Was the second one they asked me to do. They were like, well, what do you think this guy would sound like? And I said, well, he looks like he's kind of heavy. So I mean, I did a couple voices and I said, well, I'm going to do him with where he kind of sounds like he has a little bit of asthma. Hey, Chi-Chi, hurry up. The others are coming. We're going to be late. So then after I quit in 2004, they ended up picking up Kyle Abear. And Kyle Abear over the voice of the Ox King on DVD. And so it went from sounding. So hang on, let me get my muscle memories correct. It went from sounding like this, it went from sounding like this to something that sounded like this. Hey, Chi-Chi, hurry up, we gotta get the others to come over. And mine was always just more like this. Mine was just like but he kind of added a little dumminess to the voice, right?
Yeah.
You sounded like this. It kind of sounds like, hey, I'm just a big ogre kind of guy.
I'm sorry, the way your head was moving, you were doing that, Mark. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm going to tell you this. I am a voice actor, so only this part can act. If you see this part, it's not sellable. So when I do the voices and I do this, you won't laugh. All right. So, but I'm a voice actor, so only this part acts. Sometimes when I'm in the booth, my arm will be like out here. Hey, Jay, let's get. And if you saw the camera, that doesn't look like acting. This looks like acting. There you go.
Are you able to do your characters are you able to do all the voices of all your different LZ characters? I'm sorry.
What do you mean? Was I able to do them? How?
Well, are you able to say like quotes for each character? Are you able to?
Oh yes. In fact, whenever I tell people that I do voices for Dragon Ball Z, I usually pull out one of my. I was looking to see if I had one of my cards. I don't have it here. But I usually pull out one of my cards that has all of the picture of them all on there. And I say, I was the voice of Corn the cat who had all the senzu beans. He'd give them to you. He'd take one every 10 days. I was the voice of Berger, fastest in the Dragon Ball Z universe. Nobody was faster than him. I've beaten plenty of Saiyans, and none of them were faster than me. Then I was also Ox King, who, sounded like he was always out of breath. And then I was the Grand Cat, who, was the strongest in the Dragon Ball Z universe. Nobody else.
That's so cool. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Go from voice to voice to voice. It becomes muscle memory after you do them about 5 or 6 times.
You're quick.
Yeah. Well, the way I practice, I found this out while I was in the Dragon Ball Z booth. If you have headphones on, it's exactly what you sound like when you speak into a microphone. Because I never had headphones on while I was speaking to the microphone. Normally I'm on stage, I just have the microphone. So I hear it coming out of the speakers, but I thought that's what I sounded like, but that's not what I sound like. What I sound like is when I have my headphones on and that mic signal goes directly from there to the headphones. Hey, don't stop the clicking. You did that. I irritated myself. It was doing that haptic clicking. And I was like, hey, bro. All right. We'll come back to where we'll rewind. So anyway, I've been doing stand-up comedy for like since 1987. Oh, we round too far. So anyways,
So
I forgot what I was talking about.
well, I was gonna ask you, can you do your Arnold impression, your Dave Matthews, Garth Brooks, AC/DC, Matchbox 20?
Let's see some of these. Let's try it. AC/DC's not gonna happen because it's been a while since I've done it. Here's my Arnold Schwarzenegger.
My CPU is a neural net processor, a learning computer. The more contact I have with humans, the more I learn.
So that's
That's sick,
Yeah.
Mark. What the hell?
in fact, in my show, my stand-up comedy show, I say this is Terminator 2 if they did it in 2025.
My CPU,
Here we go.
I'm a model T4100, multi-ethnic person of color exoskeleton over molten metal endoskeleton. My pronouns are they, them. We won. I am here to get rid of all things that are binary. Ones and zeros must die. The future is non-binary.
So how are people gonna recreate?
We haven't gotten that far. I'll be back.
How did you do that? It's so sick, Marcus.
Impressions are my strong suit. That's what I love working at. Oh, that's what I was talking about. How to get the voices, how I do my impressions. So you can hear your voice, how you sound directly in the microphone. If you take off the headphones, there's a lot of air that comes between you speaking and when you get into your ears. So you think you ever hear yourself on a recording and go, that doesn't sound like me. And everybody else looks at you and goes, that sounds exactly like you. Well, so once I figured that out in the Dragon Ball Z booth, I had my headphones on. I would do my impression. I did my Samuel L. Jackson and thought, whoa, that's a little off. All right. So I went back to my house, bought me a set of headphones, played the sound clips in there, like the Arnold sound clip, like the my CPU is a neural net processor. I played that on constant and said it at the same time. Okay, now if you do that with singing voices, this is how I started to do it with singing voices. You do that and you're doing a Pearl Jam impression, and you're listening and going, "Don't be spoken clear today." So when I'm singing along with him, if I hear it like one frequency, like it sounds like I can't hear Eddie Vedder's voice, I know I'm doing his voice. Then I shut off the recording and I listen to myself do it solo, and I'm like, that is dead on. So I play it with the clip again, and I say it again to make sure that it's the same tone. And sure enough, then I try to remember where it is in my throat. There are certain things that you can do on certain impressions. Hey, like Ozzy Osbourne, like when you're talking, Sharon. Who is this guy right here? He's got my stuff behind him, you know. So when you're doing that voice, the way I get into it is right there, puts my throat exactly where it needs to be in order to say the rest of the phrases. So that you'll hear that a lot. Before I say anything, I put it up to here, and then I know that's the area where my throat needs to be.
That's cool. Are you able to do your? Because my brother, he loves Matchbox 20. Can you do your Rob Thomas impression?
Rob Thomas, do the. What is it? Give me your heart and make it real, or else forget about it. What is it? He sounds like a goat. Well, I wonder what it's like to be a superhero. Well, I wonder what it's like to sing just like a goat for you and me. Yeah. So
That's sick.
that's how I hear it.
That's sick. That's really cool. That's really cool. Now, favorite DBZ character that you don't voice, like your favorite character. Curious.
Frieza, of course. Yeah, Frieza's really neat. In fact, every time I see Linda Young do it and coming out of her face, it's like, that's weird.
Oh, fuck.
Weird.
That's cool. She's very nice too, Linda Young. Very nice, humble.
You met
lady.
Linda?
Yes, I've actually interviewed her once before. Very nice.
Nice.
Yes.
Well, that rocks. Yes, no. In fact, I got a message from her today. I miss her. It's always great to see her with me in that celebrity petting zoo area that they put us at. In the I don't know if you know. Have you been to a Comic-Con before?
Once or twice.
When you see the celebrity area, it's that celebrity petting zoo area. They have us all off to the side. You can actually buy kibble and feed us. I don't know if you know or not. If you place it in your hand, you got to keep your palm flat because some people will bite. You know what I mean? But you got to save some of your kibble because, David Hasselhoff might need more.
The Hoff. I'm sorry. That's cool. Who was your favorite celebrity you met at con? Like, who was your favorite experience? I'm curious. We've been to cons. Like, who's your
celebrity that I've met? Who would I put that on? As far as personality wise, there's a guy named Spencer Wilding. He's from Ireland, and he played like the werewolf in a couple of movies, and then he was also in Fast and the Furious. He also played was it Darth Vader? Was he Darth Vader? He was in the Darth Vader outfit, but he didn't do any speaking for it. And I think he was also might have been in the Chewbacca, but he's just like 6'8". The dude, yeah, and he's like very lanky and tall, and he knows martial arts, and his face just looks like he's been punched. It looks like a punching bag face. He goes, look at his face. His face can take some punches. I'm like, holy moly, that face looks like a punching bag. But when he gets to talking, he'll talk to you, suddenly next day he'll talk about this and you're like, what did he just say? I know he's speaking English, but I didn't understand a single word. He's one of the larger personalities. So every time I see him at the con, I always make it a plan to go up to him. They say he goes out drinking. I'm not much of a drinker, but they say when he gets drunk, he gets real belligerent. He's from Ireland. He's Irish, so of course he's gonna drink and get belligerent.
That's cool. Now, any other people you're how about you were like very happy to meet? Like you grew up watching. Like who you?
Well, here's the weird part: is I stopped watching a lot of TV and a lot of pop culture in around 2009. I stopped watching a lot of it. My wife was like, "Well, you need to start watching some if you want impressions." I said, "I'll just watch clips." If somebody's like, "Hey, get this impression down," I'll just find a clip of it on the internet and do it from there. I can't, for some reason, my attention span has gotten less and less every year. I mean, it's evident with TikTok that all of our attention spans have gotten. I mean, when somebody's like, "Hey, come watch this video," first thing I ask them is, "How long is the video?" Because sometimes they'll be holding it up for you, and then you look at it on the bottom, and it's like 6 minutes, and you're like, "Wait a minute." So you're gonna get tired of? Am I gonna get tired of just staring at you holding your phone in your hand, or are you gonna get tired of holding it that height? So I have to go because they try to get you to take it out of their hand. Here, watch this video. Okay, now you hold it.
Yeah. It's true.
I was just saying, you'll know when I'm done when your hand gets tired.
Oh my god. No, who's one person, dead or alive, you'd want to have dinner with, and why? Choose one person.
Man, I haven't. These are some good questions. I haven't.
Thank you.
Thought about that. Dead or alive? Celebrity, or just can be any person?
It could be anybody.
I'd love to have my dad back and chat with him for 1 year. He died in 2006, and he was gone in 2 weeks. His cancer took over very fast, and I think about him often, about how I'd love to just sit and chat with my dad again. So yeah, probably my dad.
That's cool. Papa Britten. That's
Papa
cool.
Britten.
That's cool.
My last name is actually all Britten, and I'm fine with people knowing that. That's fine. But I went by Britten because I thought it'd be easier for people to pronounce. Because just like Chinaman, and they always say Chinaman, I didn't expect that. But my last name, they always say Al Brighton, Al Brighton, Al Brighton, usually Al Brighton.
So it's A-L, then Britain, I'm guessing?
Yeah, A-L-L.
Oh, two L's.
Yeah, many letters. And then now I pared it down to Britten, Britten, and people like I saw an announcement for me last week. Come see Mark, Britton. I'm like, wow, even that, what a fail. So I can't get it right. Chinaman was easier to spell, by the way.
No, I'm curious. What's the? I'm stupid. I'm sorry. What's the walk mean? What's that mean? The walk.
The walk. All right.
Walk.
So,
that's cool. I'm just cool.
Okay, so I told you I was Chinaman. Now I went to Kid Walk. I used to
Kid Walk.
Name that I went to. Yeah, because I do a lot of rock and roll parodies, and then I was going to change my stage name to Kid Walk. Until I found out that backwards Kid Walk spells cow dick.
Sorry.
Yeah, thank God I saw this tattoo in the mirror, before I did anything stupid, So, yeah, there's a cow dick right there. You can see it. So.
You just have a picture of a cow next to it. I'm kidding.
Oh, that's Kid Walk to me. What are you talking about? Hey, cows don't have dicks.
That's cool.
I got the tattoo after the joke, though. So I was doing the joke, and then I decided, you know what? I'll go ahead and get the Kid Walk tattoo, the cow dick tattoo. So I got that. A buddy of mine died in 2004, and that was his favorite joke. And I didn't have the tattoo at the time, so I went to his brother's house, and I got it tattooed at his brother's house. There was a guy that was in their band that knew how to do tattoos, so I allowed him to do it. The person that was who was the fan of the joke was Dimebag Darrell. He was in a band called Pantera.
Okay, Pantera. Okay.
The guitarist for Pantera, and he was my best friend when he died. And so I got the tattoo, and now I have the joke to go permanent with it.
That's cool.
But Kid Walk was a name. I redid the song, Kid Rock's song, Ba with the Ba, and I made it a song about me, and it was Kid Walk. So it was kind of just a parody of a parody. So whenever the Chinaman thing came down and people were getting offended about that, I thought, you know what, let's just swap it to Kid Walk. And so then I want to start. Now I think I'm going to move it to The Walk, because I think The Walk is. I was doing impressions of The Rock back in the early 2000s, but it wasn't really adults that were going to comedy shows that were fans of The Rock. It was kids. So now that they're adults, probably time to go by The Walk.
The Walk. You heard it here first, folks. Okay.
Smell what The Walk is cooking. But the thing is if you Google The Walk, you're going to get a bunch of cooking utensils. All right. Back in 2004, whenever I was the only Chinaman out there, all the way to 2009, you Google Chinaman, I would occupy the first 5-6 pages. It would just all be me. All right. But then now you type in Chinaman and it's all Bobby Lee's characters. But as well, if you type in Kid Walk, I'm the only Kid Walk on the internet. It populates as that. So that's one of the reasons why I'm like, well, do I change it from Kid Walk to The Walk? I think I might just refer to myself on stage as The Walk. But Kid Walk, maybe for the branding, just for the fact that they can pull up Kidwalk, even though I've had people spell it Kid Walk, Kid Walk.
Kid Walk with a
like I'm walking, like Kid Walk, like I'm the king of walking. I don't know, I am the king of walking, but it's walking, and it's more cowbell. Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool.
As you can tell.
Now, if you didn't go into voice acting or comedy, what do you think your career would have been? And what other hobbies do you have? What's your hobbies?
Oh man, what would I base it off of hobbies?
I could see you being in a bar. I'm sorry.
I was going to school for radio, television, and film, and that was when I was in college. I decided, hey, I think I'd rather be in front of the camera than behind it. Okay. So that's why I decided to go into stand-up comedy, and I started to get some stand-up comedy shows happening. And then I go audition for Dragon Ball Z, and they put me back behind the camera. So now I think, look at this part right here. just this part. So ironically, they threw me back. I want to be in front of the camera. Yeah, but just voice this character. Now you're behind the camera again. Now nobody knows who you are.
Do you have any hobbies? Like, I could see you be like a drawer. Like you draw. I don't know why I could see it. Do you draw at all? Or
You think I look like a drawer? Well, my drawing is horrible. You were to see me if you were my partner in Pictionary, we'd lose. But yeah, I like to play video games every now and again. I just bought a VR headset. Do you have one of those?
No, but I've heard of them. Yeah, that's cool. That's sick. That's sick.
My gosh, they are pretty wild. I got my wife into it. I might have to get her one too. And there we'll both be in the living room looking like two blind people bumping into each other with the punching with the hand module things. It's like, yeah. I mean, and then they got things that they ask you to do in VR, like throw objects. You can pick up objects in VR and you can throw them, but you have to hold the controllers in your hand while you're throwing them. And your natural instinct as somebody who throws something is to let go of whatever you're trying to throw.
Okay,
right?
pull the controller. Oh no.
So the whole time you have to resist that urge to only let go of one finger. This is the trigger finger, so you grab an object, and then when you throw it, you have to throw it like that. But your natural instinct is to go, eh. So that's why they have those little wrist things. It's pretty awesome, though. You can go in there and chat with people, play games. They have all these virtual worlds. That's been my latest hobby.
Wow, that's cool. Do you said you play video games too? Like, do you have any consoles? Do you have any consoles at all?
No, I Steam on my PC.
Ooh, PC.
Yeah,
I could. You know, you should do. I could see you being like a streamer. Like you could like stream on Twitch or any of that stuff. It would be cool.
I don't, but I just we're stepping up our game. I went and spent time with a influencer on TikTok and on Meta. His name is Jacoby Ray. He's a comic as well, and he let me spend a couple days at his house, and he showed me his setup, how he does lives, and I'm gonna start doing lives now. I see how it's formatted. I didn't know how to do it. I just thought you just turn it on and just sit there and go, hey, and then you just read the comments. You know what I mean? But the way he did it, and he showed me the way it was. It's kind of like whenever I am working on an impression and I can't get it down, I have to Google it and watch other people do it. That's how my brain functions. I have to see somebody who did it and concretely, and then I can, or even if I'm in person and I see the person and say, hey, do you have there was another voice actor. I was like, you do a Trump impression, I heard. And I watched him do it. And I was like, oh, that's where the nasal part comes in. You can, as a person who does voices, you actually look and go, oh, he's doing that at the back of his throat. And then it's coming through the nasal cavity. You can't do that unless you're right there in person with him. It's a weird concept to have to think about. But I mean, that's how I tweak those. So.
That's cool. Yeah, I used to a long time ago. I used to stream on Twitch. I was like, I don't know how to do this anymore. I don't know how to do it, but I was like too tired. You know, me after streaming on Twitch.
Hey, now that you have he's the one who got me into the VR. So I went to his house for 2 days, came back, was like, I gotta get one of these VRs. Sure enough, we bought it. Now we're friends on there. We're thinking about how we can do podcasts together because I do a lot of voices that I can do during the game, And they're the people. He told me there's ways to make money. He said if you're on live, what you do is you say, hey, have somebody, I have a list of all these voices right here. Whoever's my biggest donor in the next 5 minutes, I'm going to let you pick off of this list. And for the next 3 minutes, I'm going to talk only in that voice.
That'd be sick. That would
taught me how to. And I was like, wait a minute. That's like those webcams for girls where they're just like, hey, if 5 people show up, I'll take my top off. He's like, yes, that's you. And I was like, oh. The light went off in my head. So yes, I am going to start to do all of that. We're looking into getting on the lives. I have my zombie buddy who's going to be with me on the lives. I think it's pretty dynamic to have me dressed in my suit where I have my blazer on and him next to me in his zombie outfit with his zoot suit. You know what I mean? That'll be a neat thing when you're looking through the lives going, what in the hell is this? click.
Yeah.
So he taught me a lot in those 2 days, man. I mean, I got a crash course, and I'm excited to do either Twitch, any of it. But we're gonna start with TikTok first. That's where I have the most followers. I only have about 7,500, but I plan on being able to get it up once we open that live, because I'll be able to just have my guy with me and say, hey, subscribe. You know what I mean? Just all of that. I'm very excited. That's gonna happen within the next week.
That's cool. Well, if you ever need someone like to make like a logo or any of that stuff, I can help you out. If you ever need help with anything,
Man, awesome.
I'm the designer.
Well, you're very thoughtful on the things you do. Like I said, that background that you put up, pretty amazing that you went ahead and did that you're doing these things.
Appreciate it. It means I always say like family first, Mark. I'm a big family guy. So
that's I was telling my wife, the older I get, the only two things that bring me joy are my family and my dog.
That's cool.
Yeah, I'm starting to realize, that's why I didn't realize it enough. That's why when you asked me about who I would have dinner with, if dead or alive, it'd be my dad, so that I could just go, hey, I learned a lot, man. I wish I'd have known this. I wish I would have known that. Or look what I learned from you. Look at the great thing that the foundation you gave me. Do you know what I mean? Stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, you taught me. Yeah. I like that.
Until you, and then he died in 2006. So I'm coming up on 20 years. So,
damn.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I'm sorry for your loss, Mark. I'm sorry.
Yeah. When I was 38, I became an orphan at 38. Both my mom and my dad died that same year of cancer.
Oh, sorry.
10 months apart. So,
wow.
To today. So,
wow.
Yeah.
So, wow. Now,
so I lost my mom at 63, my dad at 66. So my dad only got to collect. My dad had two jobs. He was in the military, U.S. Marines for 20 years. Then he went to the post office for 20 years. Then he retired when he was 65. So he was collecting Social Security. He had his retirement from the post office, and he had his military retirement, but he only got to collect those for 1 year.
my God.
Wow.
Wow. Well, thank you for that service. Thank you, Asa.
Yes. We always thank all the military people as well. We always give discounts at the table for all of our military people. And
they deserve their money, the military people. I love those people.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Very supportive.
Favorite movies and TV shows and favorite band, artist, and type of music? Your favorite?
Let's see. My favorite movie was Princess Bride. I watched that about, probably 1,000 times. I used to have all of the lines memorized. In fact, when it came out, I took a VHS tape and taped over the part where you can re-record over the tape, but I only did the audio to it. So I redubbed the whole movie in my voice, doing all the voices with the, hello, my name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die. Stop saying that. And the inconceivable. And then the
I was in the princess stables and there are 4 white horses. I said to myself, there are 4 of us. If we ever find the lady, I'm the lady.
How do you do it? So cool.
The Princess Bride, and then as far as bands go, Stone Temple Pilots.
Ooh.
Is my favorite. Was my favorite band. I love watching him and the evolution of him when he sings and how he does his arms and he's talking to the crowd. And they were the #1 band in like the early 2000s. 2000 to 2004, they were like the #1 rock and roll band. And there's not many rock bands out there.
Yeah. What TV shows do you like? Do you have any favorite TV shows? You said favorite movie is Princess Bride.
My wife and I lately have been watching The Boys.
Ooh, The Boys. Okay.
Have you watched that?
The Boys. Yeah, I've seen The Boys. The Boys.
What the voice I really like is Billy Butcher. Billy Butcher's got, if I was to choose a voice that I had, it would be that voice right there.
Carl Urban, the actor. Carl Urban.
Wonderful voice. I don't know. It's not quite Jason Statham. Is a little bit higher, but he's down here. He's got a little more bollocks than Jason Statham.
That's cool. Wow.
So that's the next one I'm working on. So hopefully, hopefully when the lights go out in the bedroom, I can tell me wife, hey, we're gonna have a fun time here in the bedroom. I mean, I think that's
no.
I don't know if she thinks it's sexy. We're gonna have to find out.
So have you seen all of the boys? Have you seen it? Almost. What? Have you seen all the TV show?
No, we got it to. We just ended season 2 last night.
Oh, never
So-
mind then. Okay, there's a character in there that I know. That's all I'm gonna say. I know one of the actors from the show.
You think that I might be fascinated with his voice and try to get his voice down? Is that what you're saying?
Maybe.
Okay.
So when you see his character,
Like Mockingbird. Whenever I hear a voice that's kind of neat, like I heard Billy Butcher, and I thought, man, that's a wonderful voice. I want to get that down. You know, I mean, it's got just enough. Like I've been smoking these cigarettes outside all day.
wait, can you say? He says cunt a lot. Can you say cunt? I'm curious. He's like,
I was censoring myself because I didn't think we could be rightful cunts on here. You know, I mean,
he said the word.
I was censoring myself. But, you know, what does that twat know about anything anyways?
You know what I mean? So, yeah, I like those phrases, but I gotta learn where to use.
Way to use cunt. You can't just be cunt out any way you want, you know. I mean, cunt is a word where he places it just right to where people don't get offended.
I can't believe we just said that on here.
You're fine.
It's gonna be YouTube, right? So they'll let us say it, I guess. I mean, it's not for kids.
Okay. If you're curious, I had on Kane Hodder. He plays Jason Voorhees. Do you know who that is? Have you heard of him before?
Oh, from Friday the
Friday.
13th, is that right?
Yes. He played the most times Jason. He swore on my interview with him 60 times because he doesn't care about what he says. You're fine, Mark.
Well, I thought cow dick was as far as we were going. You know, but
Apparently, we're going for cunt too. Maybe you'll give me old cow cunt tattoo.
I could start a thing that says cunt counter and counts how many times you say it again.
you gotta bleep it every time. And then what you should do is you should just bleep any word that starts with a k, and then just have it bleep right there, and then count it. And then people go, wait a minute, why count that?
Or instead of it saying cunt, may I cut that, but cow dick. Like an automated thing says cunt.
Yes, every time I say cow dick, to have it say cunt. Yeah. I use it as a count every time I say cow dick, and then you just put that part and go, he said it again. He said it again.
Yeah, see, and then we mentioned music. I'm a big 80s guy, Mark. I love my 80s music. So
I love 80s. I grew up in the 80s. In fact, the 80s was what I wanted to be a rock singer because of Bon Jovi and because of Def Leppard and because of, you know, I mean, step inside, walk this way, you and me, babe. Hey, you know, guitar, drums. All right.
I met him before. I love 80s. I'm sorry. Like my
so rock
whole-
singers, maybe rock singers. If I met some of my favorite rock singers, so when I met Ace Frehley, I was very like, wow, Ace Frehley. You know what I mean? So there are people that when I was little, Jimmy Walker, JJ from Good Times. I was very giddy when I met him. I call it giddy. I'm not real starstruck, but I'm just like giddy, like, oh my gosh, man, hey, it's JJ. What the hell are you doing? You know what I mean? I get like that. I don't get like, oh my gosh, I can't even talk to him. I don't even know what to say. I'm just like, no, they're just regular people. If you just go and go, man, I used to love watching you. You know what I mean? That's it.
That is cool. Like if you're curious, like for musicians, like I've talked to Huey Lewis. Do you remember Huey Lewis back in the day?
That's the power of love. What was it? Who was I saying that I sounded like when he does the power of love is a curious thing. Make a one man weep, make another man sing. Yeah, he's got a little bit of raspy, a little bit of that was a great voice to back in the 80s. Very distinct.
Yes.
Very distinct singer.
I got to interview him. Sorry.
With some other 80s unit.
Do you remember Tesla, the band Tesla, 80s and 90s?
Yeah.
Do you remember Devo or Flock of Seagulls?
Yeah. I do, man. I remember all of these, man. You're too young to know any of this.
That's, in my opinion, it's better than the nowadays stuff. I'm sorry, Mark, if you like nowadays stuff. I like my 80s.
Which one? Which one did you say? If I liked what?
Oh, I like this better than I like back in the day better than nowadays stuff. If you like
Oh,
nowadays stuff,
nowadays, what you said. Yeah,
if
there's nothing nowadays.
nowadays I can't even listen to nowadays. It doesn't sound good. I'm
No,
sorry.
brings me to the point of we just got through this line in The Boys when she looked at him and said, "What are you doing listening to Billy Joel? What are you, 57 years old? You're not a 57-year-old man." She said that to him, and I'm saying the same thing to you. What are you doing listening to Huey Lewis? You're not a 57-year-old man.
I love that stuff. That's iconic
Oh,
stuff.
it was good. It was good, pleasurable music. I started to, one of the reasons why I stopped listening to music was because I started to realize that a lot of this stuff is mantras that people are chanting, and you're just listening to it over and over and over. And you think, hey, this is how I feel. No wonder why you're depressed. You listen to that song on loop. Listen to the lyrics. You're just putting that same mantra into your head. I stopped listening to music for like 7 or 8 years, and then I came back and listened to my old music, and I was kind of cringe. Some of the lyrics, not the '80s stuff, but some of the Van Halen lyrics is kind of like, oh, okay, that's kind of sexualizing women. I didn't realize back then, girls, 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 and stuff like that.
Oh my
You
god.
know, oh, I love me some Motley Crue. That was my band back in the day too, Motley Crue.
Well, you said "Girls, Girls, Girls" is another song, but by Warrant, "Cherry Pie." Come
Yeah.
on.
So I mean, you start listening to these and like, oh, that's kind of, yeah, that
Whoa.
was a little adult. You don't need, you know. And then if it's a depressing song, and like I said, you listen to it over and over, you just get depressed. So it's like it's a drug. Music is a drug, especially with lyrics.
Yeah,
They're injecting it. It can change your mood. I mean, simple instrumental music can elevate or lower your mood or calm you down.
that's true.
But while you're calm, I'm gonna interject these lyrics. I'm gonna interject WAP. I mean, what the
What the?
what the? I'm gonna
Yeah.
play some music, open your brain up, and WAP. Wham is better. Wham. Wake me up before you go, right? Come on.
Yep. That's true. George Michael himself. That's
I used to love George Michael.
that's
And
cool.
then, yeah.
Oh, you're saying, and then
I sang a couple of songs at karaoke. One of his songs that I sang was that song from the '90s, that I won't let you down. I will not give you up. Gotta have some faith in the sound. Well, I sang it at karaoke, and it dawned on me that that was a song about coming out of the closet. So I started to wonder how many people thought I was coming out of the closet to them right in the karaoke area.
yeah. Ooh. Okay.
The more and more I read the lyrics, I was like, oh, now I'm understanding the lyrics. As I'm reading them, I'm comprehending them. It's weird. There are some songs that I've heard. I listen to music weird because I do an impression, so I hear vocals as a frequency of an instrument. So there have been songs that I've heard that I don't know any of the lyrics to, like certain Van Halen songs. I can sing some of the lyrics, but I've heard them for 30 years and still don't know all of the lyrics because I hear the voice is just a tone. It's not. In fact, if I sing with a band, I'm off tune because the band notes. I'm listening to the band notes and pulling my voice. My voice pulls in that direction for some reason. So whenever I'm doing an impression of a singer, I try to get it without lyrics. I try to listen to just the vocals only.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Now, do you have any favorite sports fair teams? Are you a sports guy, Mark?
I'm a sports guy. I've never been a sports person. People always ask me if I'm a Cowboys fan, but I don't watch baseball.
He's like,
And I always go, that's football. And I go, see what I mean?
if no,
So you like the match? I'm like, I don't like football. That's basketball. See what I mean? I always go, see what I mean?
now, what's your favorite food? Do you have any favorite foods?
My favorite, I like some steak. I've
Ooh.
been doing a lot of carnivore diet lately, finding out what I'm allergic to, what I'm not. But for a while, for a couple weeks, I just did only meats and eggs. And then I started to reintroduce breads, and I realized breads now give me indigestion. I didn't have indigestion when I was just eating meat for 2 weeks. Didn't have it at all. So now I have to watch certain things that I eat. I didn't realize that was part of my joint problems. I couldn't move my arms. Didn't have full motion of some of them. But then after I stopped eating everything but meat, I was able to. I can bend my knees full now. I was like, what in the world? So I mean, some of that food was just giving me inflammation.
So wait, so okay, how about this? Next time you come here, or if when you come here in Illinois, we'll treat you up to a good steak. We got you, Mark. That sound
Yeah,
good?
no doubt. I would love to come. I would love to hang out with you, man. Next time I'm there, especially if I do comedy, I'd love to have you as my guest, man. We would hang out. You seem like a pretty fun kid.
Appreciate it. Means a lot, honestly, Mark. Thank you. Thank you. Now, what advice would you give younger people who want to become a voice actor, comedian? What's Mark Legend, the Legend's
Okay.
advice? Legend.
A lot of people say just be yourself. And the way I look at it is it's always worked out for me to be somebody else. You know,
Okay.
I mean, you can't be Berger without being somebody else. So why don't you just be somebody else? You know, Corn the cat. That's okay if you're Corn. Or you can be the Ox King as well. But I mean, look, this is what got me to work. I mean, it wasn't being Mark Britten. You know what I mean? Mark Britten didn't give me any of the work in voice acting. So when it comes to voice acting, be someone else.
I like that. Be small. I always like to add, like, stay humble. Remember where you came from. That's the advice I always say. Stay humble where you came from. Remember where you came from. That's the advice I always like to add.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'm very humble. Wait a minute. Hang on. That me just saying that I'm very humble didn't make me very humble. Hang on one second. Let me refigure this. We were doing a DBZ con, and I remember the guy was giving a speech and he was talking about Mario Castaneda, and he goes, Mario is such a great guy. I don't know if you guys know, if you've ever hung out with him. He's so giving. He's so amazing. He's the most humble person I've ever met. You know, and then I shouted out, well, I'm more humble than he is. Just so everyone, Vic Mignogna goes, you were doing so well until then. So anytime I hear humble, I always like to go, I'm very humble. You know how humble I am?
That's cool. That's cool. No.
So, hey, if I was to get into voice acting nowadays, here's how I would do it if you want to get into anime. This is a secret hack. Well, anime is done in Texas, 95% of it. So you'll get Houston does some of it. They have Sentai, I think it's Sentai Studios, and then they also have Crunchyroll, which is in Dallas. Crunchyroll handles most of them. I went out to eat with the CEO. He said they get 24 titles every 3 months to dub over. 24 new titles, not new titles. So these are the ones they have their studios running, about 18 studios running from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. full every day. So but in order to do anime voices, you have to live in the Dallas-Fort Worth area or Houston. So my recommendation is if you do voices and you're pretty good at them, get a demo tape together of the voices and then shop them around and say, hey, Crunchyroll, can I just be a background voice actor? Start out doing. Don't ask them to come in and do voices immediately. How many people you think ask them that immediately? Happens all the time. They probably don't get many people coming in and saying, hey, can I be a background voice actor? You know, that's called WALLA, W-A-L-L-A. That's the term that they use, and they call them WALLAs. So you're like, hey, can I come in and do WALLA? And they say, well, that only pays $35 an hour, whereas regular voice acting nowadays pays between $150 to $200 an hour with a 2-hour minimum. Well, WALLA, I think, is $35 an hour, might be a 2-hour minimum, might not. But still, that's the way you get in. So now you're in there going from studio to studio. You got 18 studios, you're going to each one. And they're asking you to do background voices of crowds where you hear somebody going, get lost, loser. Or, you know what I mean? Any of those background noises, just a regular conversation, just kind of have a conversation in the background, all of that stuff. You're going from studio to studio, doing the fill-ins like that. Well, eventually they're going to have some auditions. And when they get done auditioning everybody who's already been in the studio, you're going to be walking down the hall and they're going to be going, hey, Mark, do you want to come in and audition? They're doing a new part for this new one. Did you want to audition? We audition basically everybody here, but I see you in the building all the time. Did you want to come in? Next thing you know, you audition for that and you get a part. That's how it works.
Oh.
Dylan Thompson, who did the voice of Goldo, Dragon Ball Z back in '99 with me. I just saw him, and again, I haven't seen him in 25 years. I saw him just last year, and he got back in through Jeremy Inman, and he was doing Walla voices. Sure enough, as he was walking down the hallway, they plucked him out and was like, "Hey, you want to go do this audition for this one?" And he got one of the roles on their new upcoming ones as well.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's how I would hack it.
That's cool. That's cool. Now, would you be willing to come back on for part 2, answer some fan questions for part 2 in the future?
Yeah. If you had any interest, I would love to. This is one of the ones I normally. You're a very good driver. You know how to drive the interview. You're not leaving me to where I'm just sitting here going, well, this is kind of awkward. This guy doesn't know what to ask next. I mean, you're very good at doing this. I love the way that you ask the questions. You're very natural. You have a talent for it.
Appreciate it. Means a lot, honestly, Mark. Thank you. Thank you.
I mean, the fact that you're sitting there setting the background up, making sure everything's all right.
I'll ask you my last question, Mark. Do you have any questions?
No, I have none. I don't know. Who invented liquid soap and why? I mean, I don't know. I'll ask ChatGPT.
Mark, is there anything you want to promote and shout out that the viewers could check out? Anything you want to shout out?
If you would like to see anything about me, you need to type in Kid Walk, KIDWOK. And I am the only Kid Walk. Don't type cow dick. Type Kid Walk. There it is, spelled that way. So you type that in, it'll show you all of my socials. You'll get plenty of videos. You can find me as Kid Walk on YouTube. I have a special that just came out. An open bar comedy is the name of it. It's only a 30-minute special, but it's on YouTube. You can get that. That's my latest stand-up. Besides that, that's basically it. Yeah, Kid Walk. I got kidwalk.com as well.
Any upcoming appearances? Oh, sorry, cut you off. Any upcoming appearances where people could buy tickets to see you or buy anything to see?
Yeah. You can find my calendar on kidwalk.com.
Perfect.
My most up-to-date calendar usually has links to each event coming up. Yeah, I'll be doing a mixture of stand-up comedy dates and Comic-Con dates. It's really hard to break out of. I've tried to do comedy shows right after a Comic-Con, but I mean, I've spent all day talking to people about Dragon Ball Z. My mind frame is in a different mind frame too. As soon as I shut down my booth, I can't go to the comedy club and go, okay, I'm going to hang out with people drinking alcohol and are drunk now. You know what I mean? There's nobody, you don't bump into any drunk people at a Comic-Con. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I'll link down your website, your social media pages, your special, all that to help you out more. That works.
Yeah, thank you very much. I hope to see everybody on TikTok as well. Look for my TikTok as well. You type in Kid Walk, they'll find it, but it's under Mark Kid Walk Britten. That's the whole name under there. Somebody else got Kid Walk. I don't know who got Kid Walk.
Who got cow dick? I'm kidding.
You cow dick. That might be the one, man. You might have just discovered my hack for I do have a song coming out on TikTok that I made for TikTok. It's a parody. Would you like to hear a little bit? Maybe I try to sing it Acapulco. That means without music.
Sure, I'm down. Sure.
Yeah, you've heard Acapulco before? Okay, so here it is. Because we all just want to be TikTok stars with billions of views and a blue check mark. The fans come easy and the clicks come free. We'll all go viral with how to memes, and we'll dance hard with our crazy moves in the backyard, filming goofy grooves. Every good creator's gonna get their share. Every dance move, every lip sync and dare. And hey, I wanna be a talk star. You're familiar with that song, right?
Yeah, but you think of the Nickelback song? I think that.
But it's hey, I want to be a talk star.
That's cool. Well, thank you again. Thank you again, Mark, for being an awesome, amazing guest. It was an honor and I had a fun time chatting with you. Thank you, Mark.
Thanks for having me. Like I said, you ask amazing questions. You keep it flowing very well. You got my brain working on some of them.
Thank you. Have a great day, everybody, and stay awesome. And Mark, you stay awesome, okay?
Yes, stay blessed.
Yes.
Ninjas